Lee, any thoughts? And let's take a look at the picks and bans here for this and get a little commentary and thoughts on that. It looks like we'll start off with Molten Falls, Blood Run, and then Awoken as the decider.
Yeah, Molten Falls, again, a slight champion going up against the heavy one, Slash versus Sorlag immediately. cYpheR has got a bit of a speed advantage, but Sorlag, of course, she's one fast lizard of her own, so it's mainly going to come down to the stack, and cnz most definitely has the advantage there. Then Blood Run. One of the first time we're seeing Blood Run today, actually. We've got Eisen versus Nyx. Also pretty standard setup, Eisen using of course that turret, Nyx has got the mobility and the invis, and then the decider, if it gets to that point, will be Awoken, Ranger versus Visor.
I think cYpheR's going to be happy with those map picks. Corrupted Keep, he's actually been looking really strong on it in the second half of stage 4, but it seems like he's got Blood Run there, he's got Awoken, he's got all the pieces of the puzzle. I'm just not too sure about Molten. I know for cYpheR that one of his, could say his better maps, but more his worst maps, Ruins, is actually off the cards now. So I'm not trying to say it's going to be even more one-sided, but cnz is going to probably struggle just a little bit. I'm just hoping if he doesn't play like he did earlier on, then he'll be able to stand a lot better of a chance in comparison to before.
Yeah. cnz's obviously had an opportunity to kind of warm up today. I'm sure cYpheR has gotten his in, but talked a little bit about the momentum of winning that first match and what that could do carrying you in here. Again, I think we're in a situation where it's like you get through that first, boss room, and then suddenly like the next boss is 30 times larger than the last one. But we did see some, decent performance. I believe it was Molten Falls was the map that was like 20-1 in cnz's favor.
Yeah, it was something like that, because with cnz, that is one of his best maps by a mile. I said it before when he was playing against Scarpy that he beat at least 5 or 6 out of the 10 people in the EU scene, and it just shows how much of a contender he is on that map. If he played like that on all the other maps, then we could be seeing a completely different cnz, but sadly it's just the one map. We'll have to see how he transitions across, but you've got to win all 3 at this point, or at least 2 out of 3.
Catch up and Flea while we've still got you here. Any call outs to your favorite matches, frags, whatever that occurred here on day 1?
I still think my favorite frag was the Sparty triple rocket rail finish. That stayed with me all day, and I still think about it.
Yeah, absolutely, that was a wonderful one. A personal highlight for me was Cooler versus Avek. Also a really close game, very tense, 2 extremely talented players to bring us here today. So it's been a wonderful day of great matches.
All right, well, it sounds like we are ready for the final matchup of day number 1, but don't worry, you'll get your rest too. We've got 2 more days of the Quake World Championship happening right here, and it's time to kick it off to our casters, ZSX and 40 Lions.
An hour ahead of time. You don't normally hear that at an esports event, but that's what Quake does. We are efficient, and we are moving in to see cYpheR for the first time in this event, going up against cnz, who was a little bit rusty this morning, but eventually pulled out a very, very good victory. What's your take on this, 40?
I'm excited to see cYpheR, as is everybody. Are we going to see cYpheR frag movie highlights, or what? cnz already climbed a huge mountain earlier, going all 5 maps, reverse sweeping Garpy, keeping him out of the league, but now this is a different beast entirely that he has to deal with in cYpheR.
Yeah, looking at the breakdown of maps and picks, I think cnz needs to win this. Like, obviously it's his pick, and we've discussed extensively how strong he is on this map, but it's not only that, it's the fact that he does have the Sorlag against the Slash, and so having the speed and the stack is obviously an extremely powerful asset, and so he needs to maximize that. But if there's one light champion to go up against something like a Sorlag, it's going to be a Slash, because you just have that unbearable speed advantage, and with good positioning you can make it count, and that's the first damage of the game, a straight rocket to the face. cYpheR's happy with that one and will back off to try and pick up this Mega, but yeah, the rail is crucial.
Very, very nice rail from cnz there. Makes his way back, wants to try and get some position potentially on this Mega to do damage. cnz peeking out from the hallway, making sure it's clear before he drops in, and the rail shot will miss. Unfortunate for cYpheR there, but he knows that was my chance. I need to pull back. There's a little bit of rocket damage. Trail just in case for a little bit of insurance if cnz were to drop down. There's the rail. cYpheR wants to chase this. He does have the dinosaur trapped. Great patience from cnz, but gets donked into the LG, and there's not much you can do there.
Stopwatch.
Good play from cYpheR.
Yeah, nice little trap there by cYpheR. As he does take that lead relatively comfortably as well. He's got a great stack to work with. All the utility in the world. He allows the heavy to go, but at what cost for cnz? He doesn't have a lot of weaponry, but we all know how powerful that super shotgun can be, so cYpheR's wary of that, does retreat. Done enough damage, particularly with that rail, to make himself comfortable to drop in for an extra rail down on this mega pickup. cnz's early, close rail there.
Skinning that lizard. cYpheR finally picks up health bubble to get out of railable territory, also a 50 shard. Slowing things down, Spit is back up for cnz, and that might be the difference maker here. If you can just get a couple beads on him, that tick damage does a lot on the light champs.
Does, and we can see how wary cnz is. cYpheR looking incredibly comfortable, allowing cnz to pick up the items because he doesn't want to go and contest. He knows that cnz wants to bully his way in, so cYpheR's just playing the map, taking the items that are free, being and popping that movement just to make sure there's no shenanigans going on, and gets out relatively safely. Good rocket as well, blocking his choke point, and cnz's just going to retreat. Ultimate respect for what cYpheR's been doing, and knows he missed out on the mega. cYpheR's just playing the map better at the moment. Already 3 minutes have gone.
It's past one frag up. That's a great trap, but the rocket from cYpheR isn't bad. On the reply, and the drop down onto the lightning is going to cost him his life. Right in front of him spawns the mega to add insult to injury. 2-0 for cYpheR here, looking to open this thing up. Rockets will not land. The telly noise will set him off as to cnz's positioning as the spit comes in. Good rail there, but cYpheR should be able to get out. Instead, he's not afraid to take those peaks at all. cYpheR just trying to put out damage at any given opportunity.
Look at the awareness of what cnz was missing. It was that rocket, but great response from cnz, who hits a rail in kind. Back-to-back rails from cYpheR, but he's still a little bit weaker than his opponent. This light will help stabilize that. Surprised if he sticks around here. He does some decent damage, but no point in overcommitting through a choke point, so instead waits for the drop, takes the high ground, wants to hit some exit damage. Doesn't matter, he didn't set up for the mega. Needs to pick up a rocket as well.
What a rail. Almost hits the follow-up too. These rails from cYpheR, fantastic, making cnz rethink the play on the mega here. And the rocket jump barely misses. That would have been a great chase there for cYpheR.
It's very calm and collected at the moment. He's not overextending. He's doing what he needs to. He's playing the items. This is a big engagement though, and obviously he hasn't got the stack to work with, but the aim is there, and cYpheR picks up his third frag as his lightning gun and his rail and his skill set looks refined today.
That was just brutal. I know Sorlag's a thick girl, but that was just straight Elmers onto that dinosaur. cYpheR 3-0 now at the halfway point. Looking for some more. There's a good rail from cnz. There's some spit and the rail combination. That is well done there to get that frag and win himself the heavy.
And a small slip up from cYpheR, and that's why you see him being so careful throughout the series so far, because that Sorlag just spawns with such a stack. We've said it time and time again. With those heavies, you've just got to be calculated and careful. Even if they're off spawn, there's still a big threat in cnz. Here we go, putting the pressure on. You know, cYpheR bound to be weak there because he hasn't picked up a major item. He's caught him here in the corridor. 2 good rockets, but it's not enough as the heavy's up, and that rail off the spawn cripples him even further. Can he hit more damage? He can! cYpheR's already lost his lead in the space of 30 seconds.
That is incredible by cnz there. cYpheR living up to the name Heartbreaker. I'm sure the fans are upset, but still plenty of time, but cnz has done well to tie it at 3. Almost gets another rail angle here, as now he's just running the items. The split is gigantic, just like his stack, trying to add to it, and he has the spit, which has been treating him well. It's been serving him very, very well, putting that dot damage on, and just using it for spacing, if nothing else.
Yeah, and the tempo that I thought cnz might employ has just not come. This is the first time in the game, really, where he's had these significant stack advantages. He's rotated both items. He would want to have this lockdown on the mega. He want to do it securely, which is why he's taking his time. But cYpheR is nowhere to be seen as he is retreating. He knows how strong this Sorlag is at this point in the game. It's a critical minute for cYpheR to stay alive, but cnz nearly set the trap. Just moved away at the last second.
think that rocket from cYpheR was so important. It actually messed up cNz's aim. That trap probably would have been a frag. So he claims the heavy, but the damage is good from cYpheR, and this is exactly what he needs to do. Keep chipping away, bobbing and weaving as best as he can. Maybe doing some damage on this Mega, but he's a little bit far away, just begging cNz to go up that jump pad. Tri-Bolt will give him away, and cNz will say, I'm going to go this way towards the rail, and there's the cutoff from cYpheR with the LG, pins him against the corner, but so close. But no cigar, 28 HP for cNz. Almost had the frag for cYpheR there.
Almost, but no cigar. That's a good rail. That will be the indication cYpheR can push in. This heavy is up. cNz cannot stick around. cYpheR want to put on the chase. He knows he can't let the Sorlag restack. cNz wants to play slow. Can't get away, or can he? As cYpheR goes flying across the map into the Mega, and cNz is just going to run.
Those rockets, unfortunately, lackluster. That rail, however, not.
He's still railable though, and this is precarious as cYpheR has locked down on both major items. The light's still not there. So cNz will be creeping around the map, trying to listen and use his audio cues. Great rocket. That's crippled cYpheR, but not enough. You can see the speed. cNz hit the rocket. He didn't have time to do a 180 by the time cYpheR was in and killing him.
That was insane. It was almost a direct rocket, and cYpheR was still in his face almost immediately. Now he's hitting a follow-up rail, and cNz is probably just like, which one of y'all kicked me? It was rush hour for sure, as cYpheR speed demoning his way over there. Heavy's going to go to him uncontested now. And this is looking a little bit dangerous for cNz.
Just a little bit. cYpheR wanna once again make sure he gets this item cleanly, and then tempo will bound to come once again. He knows exactly where cNz is. Has been seen on the map. No contest for the Mega. This is definitely where his opponent is. And he's done enough to force him back. Doesn't need to overcommit. He will wait around just to pick up the light before he picks up the heavy, just to limit any resources for the Sorlag. And once again, we are moving into territory for next frag wins, essentially, so cYpheR definitely has time just to keep map control and suffocate his opponent out. There's no real need to overcommit just yet.
Almost getting that rail shot off. Again, the speed of Slash proving to provide these angles for cYpheR. You just can't connect, getting so close.
1 minute warning.
cNz on the back foot now, and he has to be careful. He doesn't really have much choice, but he's giving up so much of the map. There's the preemptive spit for a little bit of distancing here.
Yeah, but he's just living in the rail room, around that corridor. The safest area for him, the choke point. But as you say, he is giving up the map, but by not taking damage, the stack differential when giving up full item control isn't a lot, and he realizes this is the chance to drop in. He has timing. Great damage from cNz, but it's not going to be enough unless he hits some crazy damage. He's living on the edge. cYpheR's trying to hit the rockets. He knows one shotgun blast will kill him, and somehow cNz comes away with the frag with 30 seconds to go. cYpheR needs to go on the offense.
2 HP, cNz hanging by the skin of his tail. I don't understand what just happened. cYpheR by all means should have had that frag. This is so unfortunate. 15 seconds left, and I think cNz is going to steal away this map.
I mean, he's so close to, and as you say, don't really know what happened, but cYpheR fluffing what should have been an easy kill when he's dodged it.
Oh my goodness. Heartbreaker indeed. The cYpheR fans in chat probably vomiting right now. That one was very, very close. I don't know. The shotgun just didn't connect the way he wanted it to on that last fight. The rockets around the corner were a little bit sketchy. I thought it was going to actually pop. Well, I thought one of the rockets would pop him off the ledge.
Yeah.
He literally jumped up to avoid the splash damage. And yeah, that one was close.
He was quite literally living on the edge, and I know we say it quite a lot really in the Quake Pro League, but if you just do the basics and you keep maps close, this is what could happen. A quick turnaround in an unexpected fight. cNz felt the opportunity was there for him to steal away the Mega, which would give him that additional stack to take that fight, and it was a little bit fortunate, but it worked. And it was all down to the fact that, yes, he was, as we were talking about, he was giving up map control, but he had built himself a stack and a position to commit for a single item. He chose his moment, and he walks away with the first map, putting cYpheR on the edge of going down to the lower bracket.
And I mean, silver lining, I guess, that was technically cNz's map pick. But, I mean, being that close, being in the lead, cYpheR's got to feel a little bit bad about that one, but he's got to shake that off going into the second map, as you said. This one could be it. Don't want to get knocked into lowers this early. And different setup, different champs, different map, so mental reset is always the way to go. We're going to go on to Blood Run shortly. Aizen versus Nyx. That's a pretty good matchup. I feel like there's a lot of places where you can throw the turret kind of down the mega hallway, also in the nail room. Give yourself a little bit of advantage, at the very least information, but Nyx is always good for that wall jump, traversing from Tri-Bolt to Shotgun back and forth. Also, just wall jumping to get over rockets is huge for splash damage and avoiding that.
Yeah, the mobility of Nyx definitely comes into play on a map like Blood Run, as you say. The mid ground up and by that heavy, so useful just to control that area, which is a critical point of positioning. Likewise, the Ison is pretty decent, because if you're going to be down in the mega area, for instance, those turrets cause chaos. Not only do they block shots, but you have to then get rid of them to even hit your opponent. So he can be a nuisance, and you've got teleporter shenanigans. If the Nyx gets ahead, we've obviously seen time and time again that she can just run away with the game. She can hide like a demon, and so it's going to be tough either way. They both have a lot of utility here. I'm probably going to lean slightly in the favor of the Nyx, just in terms of how it plays out in the map. But it's neither here nor there, really.
Yeah, I mean, cnz has to feel amazing right now. He had,
100%.
Again, that marathon series against Garby earlier, went full 5 on the reverse sweep. He won every map he needed to, and now you're up a map on cYpheR. You've got to be feeling great going into this second map.
100%. So much momentum off that Garby win. Like, he was on the edge of being eliminated. He shouldn't even be in this situation, all things considered, but he pulled through, and he's been getting stronger and stronger. And I think back in stage 2, I was touting cnz as someone who could put these upsets forward. Unfortunately, he went out actually on Molten Falls, quite desperately, really. But he has come back, he's clawed his way in, and he's had a fairly stable season. So to make his way out of relegation and to take a map off cYpheR, it's a step at a time. And there's no reason why he cannot take this map away from cYpheR as well.
Well within the realm of possibilities. Just dealing with a few technical things before we hop into the second map. Again, Ison versus Nyx on Blood Run. Is there a world where cnz upsets cYpheR 2-0?
If you would ask me before that match, I would have said unlikely. The way that cnz had played in that match, I would say possibility. We were speaking quite early in the match that cYpheR looked comfortable, he looked confident, and yet cnz was able to adjust and not play into the hands of cYpheR. We also discussed how that was probably the map he needed to win, given that he had the sword line and his favorite map choice, and he did it. But I was very impressed by the mechanics and the strategy that cnz employed. So it is entirely possible, 100%.
That would be quite shocking, I think. Most of chat would probably leave their jaws on the floor. I know I probably will, but cYpheR, whatever he did, hopefully it'll help him, as we're going to get into this second map shortly. Blood Run. cYpheR has to climb a mountain. It's not too big, but he does need to win this one to stay alive and force it to a map 3, which would be Awoken if we go there. cYpheR in the lower bracket early might be terrifying too.
I'm very impressed by how static you can be and how you can mime so extremely well for you. It's quite scary.
I'm trying my best.
It's really, really weird. But yes, as you say, we are going to move into Blood Run right now, as cYpheR needed a quick restart. He's back in the game. He's ready now.
Just had to get the dust out of his optical mouse, you know, clean out the ball mouse in between matches. Recalibrate, do what you got to do. This is for all the marbles. Again, it's not elimination, but being in lower bracket this early is going to be awful. So you want to avoid that at all costs. And this is the map to do it.
This is the map to do it. It would be against, as you rightly said, everyone's really expectations for cYpheR to be knocked down so early, given how well he's been playing in recent times. But it's now on the line. So cYpheR needs to find a way to come back into this map. He's picked Ison on Blood Run. Let's see why. As he will go up against cnz, who I am sure will be playing patient, passive, and frustrating. Let's not forget that as well. It can be as much a mental game as anything else.
Decent Tri-Bolt right off the start from cYpheR. Ooh, he barely misses viewing him there. He's just waiting patiently down below. The armor will give him away, though. More Tri-Bolt coming in. Nothing landing, and that's going to be a free mega for cnz. So much Tri-Bolt. What is happening right there in the Ghost Walk?
What is happening, as you say? What should be a free mega turned into a nightmare for cnz as our weapon of the tournament once again comes to show how powerful it can be in the right hands. As cYpheR has caught his opponent here. There's no Ghost Walk up because he was forced to pop it before, and cnz is just waiting for cYpheR to come kill him right now. He wants to hit a rocket, so cYpheR is playing it carefully, but the shotgun will be the answer as cYpheR takes an early lead into this game. It's exactly what he needs to step himself.
That was just a beautiful play with the turret. Just lock him in there. You're stuck in the Batcave. Enjoy. And the shotgun to finish him off there. Looking for more though. cYpheR's going to go through the tail. He needs to be careful not to eat that spam a little bit. The armor will go to cnz, but it might be at the cost of his life, and it is. And dodging that last second rocket there, cYpheR will stay alive. Has a decent stack. Would like more armor for sure, but 2-0 up early. Not looking too bad.
No, and obviously cnz with the light champion doesn't have the stack off spawn to go in and contest too hard. The aggressive ghost walk though, but cYpheR's already in a great position. Yes, there was lots of damage, but it's just before the heavy, it's just before the mega. cYpheR's in a good position now just to deal some damage, and cnz might be going down again. He does. Tribolt to lightning gun. Oh, he needs to temper himself as another frag could be coming here if cYpheR does hit the back-to-back rails.
Grabs the mega. Rocket jumping up has Timmy the turret available if he wants that double team here. cnz already down 4. Looking a little brutal right here. Again, we know Blood Run can be a highly defensive map if cYpheR wants it to be. I have a feeling that he wants to get more frags and shake out the rust a little bit more here. Barely missing that rail. That flick was almost right on point.
Stopwatch.
Yeah, and it's I don't feel anyone should be going defensive, particularly not 3 minutes into a map, irrespective if Blood Run can be done for that. It's all about making sure you just cut the map off of your opponent, and that's what cYpheR's doing right now. He's not extending into the domain of where cnz is living right now over in the nailgun room. He's just controlling the major items, playing by the rocket side, and not overexposing himself.
Rail again. Is he gonna chase? He isn't. Look at that turret positioning there, right on the heavy armor. Didn't really land a lot of damage, but that's got to be terrifying for cnz. Stacks are about even, but again, a rail on the way out.
cnz's doing a good job. He's stabilized. He's kept the score at 4-0 after what was a catastrophe of a minute for him, dropping all 4 frags in quick succession. Forced to pop the Ghost Walk. cYpheR will have realized that now as his opponent has just vanished. And is doing a good job of playing strong positioning in this mid. Good position of the turret once again. That's something we've seen successively from cYpheR, is the creative and strong positioning of those turrets as well. He's finding it hard to get in. He's doing bits of damage here and there, and he's snuck in and pulled away the mega, but at what cost? 2 rockets, that's what.
Taking a whole 0-6 on a map that's probably one of the hardest to come back on.
Absolutely, and with the mix, he's not the best equipped champion to make rapid succession comebacks. More tactful than that, because you need to play around your cooldowns, you need to play around your limited stack. You can't just go balls to the wall and rush your opponents. So it's becoming ever more difficult for cnz to even picture having a comeback. cYpheR is suffocating him. He's stuck in the side here. It seems like a matter of time till he goes down again. He's got no weaponry, it looks like, left, and the tri-bolt to the feet. How do you even get out? He's like in a
You know what? He just bomb rushed out of the cave with a shotgun, and I guess that's the way you do it.
Oh man, the shotgun is so dumb sometimes.
That was just straight up Omar from The Wire. That was insane. I don't know how he got away with that, but he still has a lot more work to do.
Nevertheless, he's still on the back foot, forced to pop the Ghost Wall just in time through the rocket, but cYpheR has been perforated. It's going from bad for worse as he spawns and charges
Please, cYpheR,
him.
stop. Please don't do this.
All right, let's just take a breather, 40. Let's reflect on what's happened in the last minute. cYpheR's going to take a fight, but he's probably not in the best position to do it unless he hits exponentially more, which he does.
16 HP. My heart is palpitating. I'm too fat. I can't take this. cYpheR is just really being a heartbreaker there, scaring everybody. Up by 4. Time taken away. 6:30 elapsed in this duel here. cnz was looking just to go on a run for a second there. If that LG battle goes his way, this is a very different game.
I've had to take a few deep breaths as I just got emotional myself. This is an interesting map so far, but cYpheR still has a good padding in the 4 frag lead. Every one of those rails will definitely help his cause as well.
Peek down the mega hallway. Now, Ghost Walk being deployed here, as is the turret, and up close and personal.
Oh,
wow,
what a rail.
Beautiful rail from cYpheR after a little bit of machine gun damage from the turret. That did not go cnz's way. He did not see that happening, but still wins out on the mega. Heavy has a huge split in between it, and cYpheR's just trying to wait on the 50 before he can even think about going towards the heavy.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's at that point in the game where he doesn't even need to think about going towards the items unless they're safe. He just needs to play the back channels now and play the runaway game. It's obviously a little bit harder against the Nyx given her utility and slight speed advantage because of all of that. But when you're hitting successive rails, it's difficult and she can't push in, so the aggressive use of the Ghost Walk needs to be the key to unlock that door. Turret's going to go down. Can Timmy do it? No, Timmy can't. Denied. Doesn't matter. cYpheR bought himself a little bit more time, but he is low. Since he's got all of the map on lockdown right now. And we're going to play the teleporter game.
And he gets picked up. Here's the trap and nail, but cnz will go in with rail and miss. And that'll even up the stacks with all that LG damage cYpheR did. Less than 2 minutes. cYpheR's looking really strong to take this one. Trying to get Vials to keep that Ghost Walk off cooldown and pop it when necessary. And is looking pretty closed here. Oh no.
So many clutch rails from cYpheR. Every time cnz makes a move, somehow cYpheR pulls a rail out of the bag. Incredibly frustrating for cnz as he is making the right maneuvers. He's just coming up against a brick wall of cYpheR right now, who's turned it on since map 1 for sure. There was obviously a glitch in the Matrix for a good minute or two. Kind of catalyst of the super shotgun to the face that did 400 damage.
When in doubt, shotgun out. Just run out of the cave with the shotgun. And again, another LG on LG battle. cYpheR wins out, this time with a little bit more HP, but that was the turning point. If cnz converts that earlier one,
nice.
What a combo from cYpheR. Hits him with the 2-piece. Can I get a soda with that? If he wins that shaft battle earlier, this is a completely different game, but...
One down on the mega, yeah.
Yeah.
He just got bullied by cYpheR. He even picked up the mega mid-fight as well. No, that's a nice little rocket, but shotgun saved the day. cYpheR was weak. But plenty of frags in the bag for cYpheR to throw away now. There's only 30 seconds left, 5 in the bag. GG's.
Hold on a minute. No, there's not enough time. You have to believe, CSX. There's the Ghost Walk.
Yeah,
just trying to get one more.
And look how that played out for us.
Leave Sparty alone. You leave Sparty alone. You're just a bully.
Poor Sparty, but cYpheR reclaims it. It wasn't the easiest of victories, but it's a comfortable one at that. And we do move on to the decider map now. And it wasn't a walkover either. cnz definitely held his ground and made cYpheR shaking his boots a little bit, I'm sure, for some of the map. Look at those stats, 46% lightning gun and 55% rail against the Nyx. Yikes.
Brutal. Just brutal. But he made him work for it. I mean, cnz had that little run. And again, that shaft on shaft down at Mega changed everything. But cYpheR puts his map on the board. We're going to map number 3. It'll be Awoken, Ranger versus Visor. And that'll decide it all. Who's getting knocked into lowers day 1. But regardless of what happens, I mean, everybody wants to win this thing, of course, but cnz has to feel good in that he stayed in the league first, which is huge, and he's put up a great fight so far against cYpheR. I mean, again, a lot of people on the booth, probably in chat, were kind of like cYpheR 2-0, easy. But cnz has, you know, put it out there like, hey, I can handle my own.
Yeah, I mean, cYpheR's been the man of the hour in Europe. I think he's been the best performing player Actually, no, that's a lie. Base has been the best point player, but he's been up there as the best performing player in Europe, whereas cnz obviously quite far down in the leaderboards. And as you say, nobody would have expected him to even put up a fight for most of this, let alone take a map. But we did say cnz will keep it close. He's come a long way. And that momentum from taking Garpy out earlier in the day has definitely shown and paid dividends to him. Awoken will be tougher, I think. I would have predicted Blood Run to be a little bit closer than it was in terms of scoreline. It was still relatively close in the way it played out. I think Awoken will be quite tough for cnz. He's been playing very defensive so far, which is fine, but he will find that style a bit more difficult to pull off against cYpheR on Awoken.
Yeah, I think cYpheR is going to maybe pop off on this one. I just have this hunch here. But as you mentioned before, cnz with a great display against Garpy. RIP Garpy. Shouts to Ketchup. I know you're sad, but happy birthday, okay? That's what's important.
Happy birthday, Ketchup. It's been everyone shout out for Ketchup.
Yeah, everybody in the chat wish him a happy birthday. So we're going to get into map number 3 of the last set for today. Don't worry, a lot more Quake on the way. All right, don't cry. It's okay. We can cry together if you want. But it's going to be Awoken, the decider on who gets knocked into lowers between cnz and cYpheR. And if you had to pick, I mean, I guess we're both kind of leaning towards cYpheR maybe a little bit here.
I'm going to lean towards cYpheR, yeah. Like 70 to 80 to 20 or 30 is my kind of ratio of probability.
I'll go 3 to 1 for no reason, because I don't understand how probabilities work. Public schools here, what can I say? Yeah.
Just Americans, really.
Yeah, sure. Something like that. I'm sure chat's blowing up right now. Defend us better. I can't. I don't know. cYpheR is going to grab the rockets now, avoiding some damage here as items were traded early on. Again, Dire Orb, something to look out for to close the distance, maybe do some close-up burst damage. Vision already popped for cnz. Sees it down in the sewer area, securing heavy machine gun. Goes up to the jump pad, needs to be careful not to run into rocket damage. This is probably the most important area of the map, the T-Con area here. Playing based off sound cues, you could hear everything, you could do a lot of damage. That rocket was super strong, and there's a good telegraph play, and that's going to win you both items. Beautiful.
Yeah, but that's just, again, the utility of the orb, how powerful Ranger can be. It's all areas of the map. Also the rocket jump passive, which we love so much, and he has caught cnz over in that room and knocks him fully over the top of the wall. cnz misses out on that light, doesn't have a lot to work with, but dealing some good damage from range. That's a great rail from cYpheR, and he knows where cnz is. He knows he's trapped. It's just, how can cnz weasel his way out of this one?
Stopwatch. Started out with a decent rocket. Does have a little bit of HP to work with. The rocket jump up and over. There's the double back. He's trying to read it. He just wants to secure it. cnz staying alive longer than anyone expected. Actually knocks cYpheR down. And cYpheR getting so frustrated, he's like, whatever. I'll just take the mega. You'll live for a little bit longer.
For now. But to even get out of there is, a round of applause, if I'm honest. cYpheR, though, taking it slow and respecting cnz after all said and done. Well, he knows cnz's there now, he won't be pushing in, but he wants this heavy, and cnz's done a good job so far, keeping that distance. He's used to piercing sight, so he needs to play this one a bit slower.
cYpheR playing it a lot slower now. Waiting for any kind of sound cue. As both players very respectful here. Vision's going to be up momentarily rather. Now it's up for cnz if he wants to pop that to get kind of the lay of the land to make sure he's not running into any kind of traps. And he does so now that he knows that cYpheR's on the heavy. He's going to hit it with the rail. Beautiful shot there.
Yeah, he's done that so successfully, and you saw him pop the piercing sight just in time for that pickup, so he knew exactly what cYpheR was doing. And those rails are clutch, because what it does is it secures him the mega. cYpheR can't make a move after that. It's nullified the entire pickup.
The Tribals exchange goes in cnz's favor. Rockets firing off cYpheR. None will connect. No information. There's aggressive Dire Orb play. He's going to take it, and there's the rocket switch. Can he get the frag? Wow.
Not entirely sure about that, but Lady Luck's in cYpheR's favor as he bounces into the mega room, and that puts him in perfect position to take that item and to get the light. He's caught cnz here with the flick rail, will deny him that item. And now cYpheR, the momentum will carry him through as he's pushing cnz out into touch.
That's just brutal. He threw his body into the creek. Take a swim.
No remorse.
Down in the bayou.
Ruthless. Like a killer.
Great rail, takes the orb for a little bit of misdirection and can cut off, and T-Con eating some rocket damage, has enough stack to go through it, and there's the rail again, parting those cheeks, 3-0. cYpheR heating up right now.
And it does feel that now the momentum is firmly in his favor. cnz needs to conjure a moment of magic with the rocket or some back-to-back rails to hold this momentum, as there's a big split on the items and cYpheR has them on lockdown. Knows exactly where cnz is. He's dropped a little bit too early, but cYpheR won't be able to knock him off that as he's got the lightning gun out, and that's the magic he needed. cnz walks away with that item and will walk away with the Mega.
Beautiful switch there from cnz. There's the Dire Orb to make sure that the Mega is secured, but still, even on the way out after taking a lot of damage, the switch to rail is good. cYpheR eating another one around the corner. This could be another kill for cnz here. LG on LG, can he do it? 71 HP, but cYpheR solo and a little bit of machine gun's gonna finish him off. 2-3 as cnz fighting his way back into this one.
A little bit greedy from cnz. I don't know if he mistimed it or what happened, but still gets away with the frag in the end as cYpheR overcommits for that light armor and cnz plays it safe. He's already brought it back to a one frag game, so that moment of magic has really transcended into more momentum for the Estonian.
Waiting patiently now. Heard the TP at the last minute, wants to pop that vision just for a little insurance. Does it take a little bit of rocket damage? Doesn't verify the location of the enemy as he sees him going into the banana area. 5 minutes left in this one. CSX as that rocket right in the breadbasket. A little bit of LG around the corner. Doesn't commit fully. I do like the damage. Making sure he doesn't take any in return. Now he's securing the items. The split is great, and cnz in a perfect position to kind of snowball into control on this one.
100%, and cYpheR fans be sweating right now as cnz is in total control of this map. I said he will struggle to play the style he wants, but he's not. He is playing it to absolute perfection. The tempo is exactly where he wants it. It's based around that piercing sight. He's taking it slow. He's playing this upper area as you well should, although this is a bit of a mistake going through the low ground. cYpheR's already in position, but cnz's going to risk it. It feels like double jump up the teleporter. He's in time for the Mega. He's knocked cYpheR off, and he will get a clean frag. What is going on? This isn't the script, 40.
I don't think anybody expected this. Those rockets were brilliant. The Hyper Blaster so aggressive, melting cYpheR. He needs to be careful. There's the Dire Orb to try and get past, but he might just get pinned. Heavy's not going to be an option, but the fragging for cnz will be 5-3, and he might split this thing wide open again. LG, is it enough? And it is. 9 HP. cnz flies into the lead, and the Mega's right there.
This is not the way it's meant to go. And cYpheR continues the aggression. That's a nice rocket though. cnz missing subsequent shots that he's very much in the back foot, but cYpheR eats a big rocket. He's out of position for this heavy, but remember he has the orb if he wants to fly through. Instead he rocket jumps up. He's got himself on the high ground and cnz is forced to back off, but this is his favorite position. Once again, always hits those shots and they are so important.
Keeping the damage output high, dodging those rockets. Doesn't want to aggress through that banana. cYpheR's claimed his territory. The Meg is his, and cnz is thinking, okay, about 3 minutes left. Time to play a little more defensive. Not fully turtle up. You don't want to necessarily give up the whole map, but just do damage, bob and weave, keep your distance, and cYpheR quite literally has to come to you and try and steal this back here as he's up 3. Well done by cnz.
Yeah, but now he's just given away both major items and allowed cYpheR to push it heavily. He's on the back foot, he's running. There's good defensive rockets, but he's also very, very low. cYpheR needs to get back for this Mega, but he's overcommitted. He's allowed cnz in. That is a mistake.
Oh no, and that rocket from above, so much damage. Maybe one more through the drive-through window. cYpheR is melting him with the rockets and cnz. He thought he could survive, but the fast food's too much. It'll clog your arteries. cYpheR takes that frag. Might even take another one as he steals the heavy. Looking for the rail. Back to LG to try and finish it. What a rocket.
Oh, denied.
cnz.
But you can see that cYpheR's looking a bit desperate here. He's trying to force the issue. There's plenty of time left. He doesn't need to do that. cnz is fairly weak, but he's consistently punished cYpheR for these aggressive pushes. The orb fake out. He's just not hitting anything.
Oh,
He's not hitting anything!
He really wanted that shotgun from around the corner. It doesn't go his way. 7-4. The refrag needs to come out. 33 HP, no rockets. cYpheR has to know that he's weak. He can't let him stack back up. There's a little bit of damage. He's going to drop to the heavy. cnz still reeling, bleeding internally right now. Absolutely reeling. Less than 2 minutes right now, and we are living in a world where cYpheR might get knocked into lowers.
That was basically a cardboard copy of what happened in map 1. Trying to force the issue with the shotgun. But there's a big lifeline pushing in. Yes, he's low, but he's in position for the heavy. cnz needs to make a move. This is a clutch play for him, and he hits the shot.
Pop the
Couldn't
got the
allow.
frag.
He couldn't allow cYpheR to get away with that item. It's such a big item.
Can't believe this.
And cYpheR somehow makes that work, tanking all of that rocket damage.
Almost hitting that follow-up. 2 frags, 1 minute. cYpheR needs to do it. He can't even really play around the items. He can maybe get one more in the cycle. There's a great rail through the telly. Does have Dire Orb. There's the play.
He's too early. That's not going to work. He needs this item, and he needs to move quick, because cnz's not going to move. cnz's got a good defensive position. cYpheR's got the stack, and he's going to have to force the issue. And he's missed out on Mega. That makes his life harder.
Bouncing around. There's a good rocket. Now he's stuck by the drive-thru window. The rocket's going to be enough. He does it. cYpheR has less than 30 seconds to try and get this 8th frag to send us into sudden death. His stack isn't great. He does have Dire Orb. He needs rockets.
Oh, he's missed that rail. That's huge. He could Dire Orb up, take the heavy, and make the play. That's exactly what he's going to do.
He has to
This is-
LG. There's no rockets.
9 seconds. He needs to catch him. cnz's gone one way.
4 seconds. He needs to go around the corner again. Is this going to be it? And cnz runs away with it.
No! Speechless, 40.
Yeah, I
And
don't.
you suck with probabilities because we got it all wrong.
I just followed you, man. I followed your lead. That is shocking to say the least. I'm sure chat is blowing up right now.